on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check. This is the state of wrestling, and that is Jake fucking DeMarco. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, buddy? Oh, I didn't mean that, but donkey, I am here, and I am ready to tear this show apart because we just got the best news in the world that CM Punk is not wrestling at the Royal Rumble, but
Thanks,
he will be
WrestleZone.
he'll be doing the pre-show.
It's hard to give somebody a hair ruffle with their helmet on, but you know, it is what it is.
They made themselves a little bit special there. But granted, it's been an exciting few days. I've split it every which way. This Adam has been a nut to crack, but some people very happy with the simple mindset. I spoke to a friend earlier, and he's like, Roman Reigns is the winner, and I'm happy because when he was in charge, things were good. And I'm like, can't entirely argue with that. So
we're going to talk about Roman and Punk, but that's going to be later on. That's called an engagement strategy.
You got it, fishing.
I'll start with a couple quick little things of good news. For the past couple of weekends, those of you that have been following the channel have noticed that I've kind of thrown together like a weekend. Okay, the big companies have done their thing. Let me talk about what's going on in AAA and TNA. You guys are out there joining me in the chat. You guys seem to like it. I appreciate it. I'm going to keep going as long as it's viable, as long as they keep giving me stuff to talk about. So look for that to become a little bit more of a regular thing. And we've surpassed 1,450 on the channel.
Woo!
Which is really fucking awesome. A lot of those people come from Jake. Thank you, sir. A lot of those people came from the Wrestling for Life Network community. Thank you. You guys are awesome. KJ, Nick, Tony, Geekbox, you guys are awesome. I know a couple of them came from interactions that I've had with chat rooms over on What Culture. So thank you for that as well. You know, I'm not
building up that loyal fan base, and you, sir, certainly deserve it. Hell yeah.
Thank you very much. But again, as I was about to say, you know, self-deprecating is all hell. I am not too proud to say, please tell everybody that you may think will enjoy what we are doing, that we are doing stuff that might be enjoyed. That was almost a sentence. That was almost a sentence, and I can hear your sounds now. So
yeah, just a few of them. Hey, we got some. Regardless, sir, but you certainly deserve it, and I could not be happier. I love seeing the influx of support come your way, and everybody's just crushing on the numbers side. So
let's throw it the other way. You and Cody are grinding away, and killing the game over on your side as well on more platforms than even I am. So
yeah, we've been having a lot of fun.
Living good lives.
We got our gaming night Thursdays now instead. We're just keeping it on to that and play games with the audience. Everybody's had a lot of fun with Jackbox and whatnot. So it's a good time. We were trying to do it at the end. Yeah, it was trying to, you know, jack off your neighbors, but we wanted to have everybody enjoy themselves. And we were doing it after some of the live reviews, but then it was like, you know, 18+ing and adulting only the reviews or tanking them bad. So we're trying to have like designated nights, and it seems to be working well. People like
so that you can be more inclusive and whatnot. It's trial and error stuff. Speaking of trial and error, there will be another pay-per-view day hangout for the Elimination Chamber on the 28th. I've already got the video thrown together with my limited editing skills. It's good to go. It's very Chicago. You guys are going to love it.
Yeah.
If you guys like the ones that I've done so far, I will be doing another one, and you guys know the drill. At this point, look at whatever funky video I put up there as a visual, but mostly it's a chat room. Come in, say hello, treat it like a guest book, leave a prediction, leave a reaction. It'll probably throw to whatever review I'm doing over on Jake's side of things. So what comes around is all around. So watch our friends over at the Wrestling for Life Network as they do their live watch-alongs. Come on over to my side, sign the guest book, and then we'll throw you over to Jake for the review, which I should be there for.
All right. We'll see how I'm doing. I'm having surgery that Friday, so we'll see if I'm home and conscious. But my goal is to make it. I made it last time.
We will duct tape a live stream microphone to your catheter. Is that how it works?
That's pretty much what they did last time. So we got it to work. You got the, you know, like Magic School Bus. They got the sound from the inside out, but we'll figure something out. We'll have someone.
Shout out to the dickhead who felt like calling me out in the comment section about occasionally coughing and sniffing. Because, you know, over the course of a 2-hour pod, I might cough and sniff. So moving swiftly on.
We don't all have cough
speaking of
buttons.
Speaking of things that are not sick or on life support, quick little news clip about TNA. I just had to confirm it with the TNA expert himself, Ringsider Anthony from the Wrestling for Life Network. But an interesting bit of news about TNA, specifically last week's episode of Impact. They were worried about what was going to happen, what the reaction was going to be, because it was the first taped episode after going live back to back. Apparently, last week's episode, the first taped episode, the episode that was kind of a little bit all over the place,
Yeah.
outdrew the debut episode, ratings wise. I don't
Wow.
have the numbers in front of me, but interesting. As I say, not quite as punchy as the first two episodes because they're going to save the punchy stuff for the live episodes, make it spoiler proof, etc. But the whole, it's a brand new thing. People will watch, and then by week 2, it'll cut, the viewership will cut in half because some people
Yeah.
will legitimately watch it and say,
No,
okay,
this was an
I give it a
increase
shot.
of
That's not much.
30,000, Spaz. Absolutely.
Really?
171
Okay,
for
you've
the
got the numbers in front of
debut. I looked them up for you. And 201 this week.
Guys, get a
even.
co-host. If you're gonna do a podcast, get you a co-host like Jake. It makes me very lazy. It's very, very obvious when I do a solo pod. I'm very
Got you on the
self-deprecating
ready.
about it, but it's also go show some love to Jake. Go Jake, countdown ended on all the things.
On all the
But
things. You're too kind, sir. But yeah, they increased, and then, like you said, they didn't drop off, which is a very uncommon thing. Usually the debut is the big to do. I think it's going to be a slow crawl for them because, one, not many people that weren't already watching TNA knew TNA was going back to cable television.
but
So,
the people that already existed on cable television would have had an, oh man, what the hell is this
yeah,
moment, right?
exactly.
So, like,
So,
you're not going to get knowledge of TNA from non-existing TNA fans about what TNA is doing. You're trying to swing the other way, around and grab new people. You have to do a couple of punchy things here and there. But like, everybody's going to be curious the first week, and then mathematically, it's going to happen. Some people are going to decide, hey, I saw it, I gave it a shot, I've decided it's not for me, which is perfectly valid, by the way.
yeah,
So there's obviously going to be a drop off to week 2, and I think there was a drop off to week 2, but then they went up in week 3,
yes,
which is a taped episode, which was, like I said, I keep using the same word, but it wasn't as punchy as the first 2. You had the Elena Black debut, you had the reveal of the Feast or Fire briefcases, which was a thing. Macklin is about to be the 127th member of the Don Callis family. It's fine, don't worry about it. Uh, the other one's Eric Young's going for the X Division title. Interesting.
yeah,
Trey Miguel's going to save the international title from NXT. And Eddie Edwards leading the new system with Bear Bronson and Cedric Alexander is going after Mike Santana, I do believe, at the next pay-per-view in a
yeah.
couple of weeks.
Very interesting
So
change of scenery
it's
there.
very, as we've said before about NXT episodes, it was a very like move the chess pieces around the board
Yeah.
type of episode. The debut of Elena Black is a thing. Oh, they finished off the
She had a decent match. The finish looked good.
Yeah. Yep. And we're gonna pretend that there's not a massive cut there. I can hear myself though.
Yes. But granted, yeah, I mean, Elena Black, she sounded and looked good. Maybe not great in this match, but it was good. It was a solid debut, and she should be looked at as a force to be reckoned with as far as name value goes. She has recognition. We'll see what they do with her,
I don't know if before the cut we heard me talking about AJ Francis and Rich Swann or
Yes.
not.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. But getting back to my initial point, moving stuff around on the board, moving chess pieces on the board, send myself for a loop there with my computer freezing. So bear with me while I get recombobulated.
Yeah, and like I said, they only lost 2,000 viewers into week 2, and then they gained 30,000 into week 3. So they're doing something right to at least keep the audience they've engaged.
They bucked the trend of falling off, and they bucked the trend of people not necessarily being hyped for a pre-taped episode.
Yes.
The one thing that I will say, and this is again where doing the watch-alongs with the Wrestling for Life network over there gives me a unique perspective, because I've got my perspective where I am, and then I'm watching two guys kind of like us, where one's Canadian, one's American. You never know who's watching it on what. And apparently nobody knew that for taped episodes of Impact, at least up here in Canada, they're slipping it back to the 8 o'clock spot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which is shit, because not only do you not know whether it's a taped episode or a live episode, but you don't know what time you're supposed to be tuning in. Like, I flipped on at around like 8:20 or whatever, like getting ready, thinking, oh, the show's going to be on in like a half hour or so.
Yeah.
And it was in the middle of Nick Nemeth and BD. Oh, BDE had his really good match against Nick Nemeth as well.
Yeah.
which was another high point, but it got buried under some of the bigger talking points. But I just thought not only to be on the rise, but to beat their debut week where they would have had every advantage going in because it was like the occasion. Really big piece of news for them, and still crossing over with WWE. Stax still has the international championship, which he's going to hand over to Trey Miguel eventually. I want everything for Trey Miguel. Have I mentioned that recently? I want everything for Trey Miguel because fuck cancel culture.
Yes, indeed.
Um, I'm going to get opinionated on some other stuff later on too, guys. I'm going to get to the point of these views do not necessarily reflect those of the YWC or potentially even my co-host, but we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, great news for TNA. They're going into this week. Still coming off of the Feast or Fired news. As I say, Steve Macklin, I'm sure we'll see him as like member 504 of the Don Callis family, representing the Don Callis family on ROH or something ridiculous.
Especially since Jake
with his
something Doyle is injured, already.
Yeah, that's a bummer, man. Like
Right?
this is not even a me laughing at AEW thing, but like I would have loved to see him in WWE. I would have loved to see, actually with Jake something. I would have loved to see him stay in TNA.
Yeah.
Um,
They just never really used him great.
They used him, but it was a spot that doesn't always exist.
Yeah.
Like he was great in his spot. Like you can be the Big Show and you can be good at being the Big Show, except he was like jacked athletic Big Show, to be fair. But you don't always need that thing that he's good at, which is a hard place to be in. But no, with the rumors that they may have re-signed, I don't know if this is confirmed. Somebody else can tell me if they know that they may have re-signed Hammerstone, and they may have re-signed possibly the Good Brothers, which may be a hint to where AJ Styles is going. Because I really don't want AJ Styles in getting wasted in AEW. Moving swiftly on. Cool time. And
AJ Styles, I think might just be done.
Yeah,
which is a crazy thing to think.
If he's done, that's fine. If he's finished, like if this is his last year, so he left WWE because he wanted to do some odds and ends stuff before he hangs them up.
Yeah.
Also good on him. If he decides in a year or so that he's not done and comes back, cool. Like why not, right? But it's one of those kind of, you look at it and you go, I'm good with any direction that the guy goes. Obviously, we're not here to tell wrestlers what to do or where to go, even if it's heartbreaking. but let's talk about some fun stuff. Let's talk about NXT last night. We'll talk about what happened on NXT, and then we'll talk about the bigger issues surrounding it, shall we say.
Yeah.
Robert Stone was named by Shawn Michaels as the interim general manager of NXT.
We'll discuss the why of that eventually, I'm sure.
Yes, we will. We will discuss that. But I want to talk about the show implications.
Yes,
because
they didn't acknowledge her at all. Like not even like, hey, you did a good job, or she was killed by Tony D. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, everybody was saying that because treat her like
she was supposed to have a meeting. Yeah, Yeah.
She met with an unfortunate accident with a crowbar in the trunk of a car. Don't worry about it.
I mean, think about it. You want to give Tony D some super momentum and be like, oh, he took out Ava.
Okay, here's the thing, and this is going to tie into something that we talk about on Raw in a minute as well. I liked the Tony D promo. God damn, he rambled on for a bit.
It was good, but it was long. That was my exact critique last night. It was good, but it was long and it felt long. It was never not captivating, but it was just like you sat there looking at your watch at the same time, being like, he's been going on for a while. I think the problem is that he said a lot without saying anything, because all of his actions don't line up with Dark State being his target so far, and then you can buy it
if the sense is like, I want to establish that I can be a threat to anybody before I zero in that my threat is to Dark State.
Yes,
like I can see it from the point of view of like, okay, you can't predict what I'm going to do. I'll take out anybody, and now I've set my eyes on you. You're fucked. I can buy that as a mentality. It feels a little slapdash. He started his promo. And like, my cut and paste thing of I'm going to enjoy anything I see on TV a lot more if it looks like that person's having a good day at work.
Yeah.
If the wrestlers are, even if the story is shit, if the wrestlers are having fun or if the wrestlers are into what they're doing, it's going to pull me in at least a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a point in that promo, and I can't pinpoint exactly where it is, but there's like definitely a before and after. He kind of loses the crowd a little bit because, as we said, it went a bit long, but then he notices that he's lost the crowd and the momentum of what he's saying slips just a little. And I mean this by the smallest of margins because it was still good. It still ended well. And, I'll tell you one thing I'm here for. I'm not going to tell you the other thing I'm here for. Great ending line, great cliffhanger from a promo point of view. I like the fact that he comes out to the completely dark and sort of stroby
Love the new music. Yeah.
performance center. Yeah. I wasn't even paying attention to the music, quite honestly. It was the fact that it was a black screen. He did have his name was on the screen, but it looked like it was being projected from behind and the screen itself was completely black. I
Yeah.
don't know how they quite achieved what I'm talking about because I don't know really how to explain what I'm talking about. But his name was there, but it didn't look like the Tron was saying Tony D. It looked like the Tron was black and something behind the Tron said Tony D.
Yeah.
Very, very low key, very like subsided in
But it
its
was a great
presentation.
look, like you said. And
yeah, the crossfade of the camera angles as he was coming down to the ring in the dark, in like I say, in the strobing lights in the dark. Very, very cool. Very, very going away from the hey paisan, come to my pizza place and all this type of stuff. But he still has the very, very put on the mobster accent, whatever you want to say. And that was the other thing in the promo. And I don't want to nitpick the guy because I like Tony D. I want good things for the guy. The longer the promo went, the more you could see the like I'm sure he has an actual accent,
yes.
but he also puts it on, which is fine.
He adds it,
But
and it's
it
slipped.
kind of came and went.
Yes.
Yeah. It kind of like faded, and then again, like I say, like you had to like recollect it, and like as soon as you go to correct it, it becomes more obvious and
Yes. He
not
started
the
laying it on a
greatest.
bit thick at points. I caught that as
Yeah.
well. Like I
Yeah.
said, though,
But
just
overall,
it was delivered well. He just said a lot of nothing because
yeah,
he's going after Darkstay and then to be continued was basically what he said.
yeah,
And his maybe you can help me here because I'm missing the jump in logic as to where he's blaming Darkstay. Because I mean, I guess you could say like they were the ones that started the issues with the family, but really it was Stax that tore apart the family. No, his betrayal, and that's why everything
yeah.
played
But
out.
if you want to talk about like friends breaking up, families breaking up, or whatever, you don't want to think about like okay, I'm gonna say family because it's the family, right?
Yes.
You don't want to think about your family breaking up because your family's bad. You want to think, or you want to at least project out there that like somebody else did this to us. Like
Yes.
you want to think like a year from now he runs into Stacks in the parking lot. Hey, it was them. It wasn't us. We can fix this, my brother, and all this type of thing. You, even
I
if
almost
he
wish they showed a little bit of that, or at least because
mm,
it's inferred for us to assume that, but it's
yeah.
not a
He could have
definite.
said less. Like
This
you
could have
can't
really
say
been like they're kayfabing and they're being like, "Hey, no,
yeah.
really, it's all Dark
Like
State's fault."
if you remember the this is going to be an odd comparison, right? When Nash and Hall went to WCW and Hall had that promo, you know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. You got to drop the mic after that. You can't
Yeah.
say I'm back. You guys don't know why I'm here, and then spend another 20 minutes talking about why you're here. Like, you know what I mean? Like he stepped on his own dick, or whoever was producing or putting the story together, or whoever gave him the promo material, like made him step on his own dick a little bit, which is
Yeah.
super unfortunate because the essence of it or the core of it is still there. Like there's still something to grab, but it got a little bit from grabbing a story to grabbing the soap a little
Yeah.
bit. It got a little slippery, kind of went all over the place.
That's
But
how it felt. So,
Robert Stone, though, interim GM, because Ava's gone. And this is where I'm going to kind of detour and I'm going to say, this is me. This is not me and Jake. This is not the podcast. This is not the YWC in general.
dun dun
Here's my thing.
dun.
Here's my thing with Ava, right? There's two halves of a story and both things can be true. I think when she was in WWE, no, she wasn't a super engaging. Well, she wasn't an engaging wrestler. We only saw her wrestle twice. She
Yeah.
wasn't a super engaging character.
She was
There's an
bad in the
argument
ring. You can't
there,
I'm not
no,
being
she was
mean.
she oh, I'm not saying anything about that. But it is that whole, like, when Corey Graves got injured and couldn't wrestle anymore, they found
Yes.
something else for him to do. I think they were trying to do a similar thing with Ava, and that's to be commended on
Yeah.
her part and on WWE's part. She wasn't the most engaging character, but I don't mind that as a GM because the engaging characters should be the stars that she's trying to wrangle.
Yes. She just
Like,
never
she
seemed like
should
she really had authority, and the problem was,
No,
I think it all stemmed from her never really wanting to do it. When she
which is
wrestled, it
absolutely
never
fair.
seemed like she had any passion in it. When she spoke, she never felt believable. When she acted,
But
it always
here's the
felt
thing about
jilted
that,
and
though,
stilted.
Jake, is, like, if you're an admin person, for lack of a better term, like, you should be like, "Okay, here's a problem that I'm figuring out. Here's the like, this is the solution for this. I'll pass on this paper. It'll go to the shredder. This guy's gotta be scanned over here. I've gotta send this next email." Like, it should be the remember when they were really, really, really playing up the businesswoman gimmick of Kiana James?
Yes.
When they showed her, like, in her office for no reason, and it was pretty mundane other than the fact that Briggs had a crush on her.
Yeah, that
Like,
was
it
it.
was super mundane because it was, like, the stereotype of a business person. That's kind of what a GM should be. Like, a
Yeah.
GM should make it's not quite the same as a referee, but it's the closest comparison that I can make. The best referees in the business are the ones you don't notice because they're supposed to leave the focus on the wrestlers. I personally think a GM should do the same thing. Now, there's times where that GM needs to be a character as well, but it shouldn't be. It should be what the characters are reacting to. It should be the punching bag for the characters. The characters should be the wrestlers, etc. Not Stephanie McMahon going out there every other week and bitch slapping somebody
Yeah.
not too many years ago. So it's one of those things where, in that regard, the fact that she wasn't that engaging was kind of good for the role. I'm not saying she was entertaining. I'm not going to say that she's up for any Oscars like her dad,
Yeah.
but she was fine. And my view going in that direction is only amplified by the fact that she took a lot of shit, man.
Yeah.
Like all
Certainly.
the Nepo stuff, the very like she took as much shit online. If you look in like I say, the darker portions of X and whatever, like she takes more than Charlotte Flair does these days. And think of the ground that covered.
Yeah. I
And it's
mean,
not like it's not acceptable with Charlotte either. But if you at least take into account like what most people think of Ric Flair these days, and you're passing on that heat undeservedly to somebody else, but it's attached. It makes an asshole's kind of sense,
yes.
right? People don't hate The Rock like that.
No, they
Like, people
don't.
might think he's a dick. People might think, oh, he's doing all this business stuff. He's gonna fuck up WrestleMania again. It becomes a topic of conversation, but they're not rabid and weirdly against The Rock like they are Ric Flair. Now, whether you want to say the reasons for Ric Flair and his current public opinion are valid or not, that's up to yourself. But the reasons or the assumed reasons or the accused reasons that people hate Ric Flair, there's none of that looming over The Rock. So there's nothing to pass on to his daughter other than the fact of like, The Rock's not here right now, so we'll just shit on her.
Yeah.
And it's like, whatever. So it's one of those like, I don't think she's as
It's past the nepo point too. Like it's just there's a
yeah,
lot to it. She comes across very spoiled sounding in every interview and every. It's just
yeah,
she has this type of like snubbed down talk. I don't even know how to phrase it
yeah.
really, but like when she acts almost like a superior, better than however you want to list it, but
Which
throughout
which which is fine. And
multiple interviews.
if you want to say like, oh, that's off-putting and whatever, and I don't like her demeanor. I bet she's an annoying person to talk to in person. Like, that's not the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. I'm talking about like
No, but I'm talking more
the
about the
the
put downs,
moral.
like her
Yeah,
her opinions are the only ones that matter. Does that
of course. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No,
The way she
and that's
comes
a
across
conversation
as
to be
well.
had.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to say like, oh my god, nails on a chalkboard, oh my god, there's somebody that's so into themselves,
Yeah.
that's really off-putting, that's kind of bitchy, I'm going to go over here and put my support behind so and so. Those are
Yeah.
the conversations we should be having, not like, I hope you get fill in the blank or
Yes. Exactly.
worse.
Yeah.
And like, some of it's horrendous, dude.
It is and
So
that's the thing. We don't that doesn't help to anything. That's not
no, it doesn't. And
constructive
it's and
and
it because it doesn't help. Okay, regardless of what you think of them, you hurl that at somebody and you don't know what that person deals with in their real life. And you can have Like, I'm not going to swing this into a whole mental health conversation, but that is a mental health conversation to be had. Like, people do not become impervious just because they're celebrities and because they show up on our TVs.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that's a conversation to be had for sure. But also, on a more selfish note, doesn't do much good for our community.
No,
It really doesn't.
none of it does. That's the overall problem. That's the hang up here.
Now, where I'm even further gonna pull myself away from Jake because I don't want Jake catching strays.
Uh-oh.
Her outbursts, shall we say,
Yeah.
since leaving.
Well, actually, I'm gonna cut you
Let
off really
me
quick
let me
before you even get into this. Really quickly, she even had rubbed a lot of people backstage the wrong way with her opinions and beliefs. So we're hearing now,
mm,
and I think that also kind of escalated the timeline in her leaving. Once
mm,
her partner was let go, it was kind of
yeah. Okay, that was the other thing I was gonna ask you because I don't know who is her partner.
oh, I forget her name. I had it in front of me a minute ago too. I'll pull that back up. But
Oh, is it like somebody from the PC?
yes,
Oh, okay,
um,
so it wasn't somebody that like was on screen. No offense to
yeah,
them,
no,
obviously.
they were learning, and that they got
Okay,
cut from the performance center.
okay, all right, fair. No, and that's rough. Like it's the whole like Renee Young after Moxley left WWE thing. Like, okay, they just fired me, but you're gonna stay, I guess, eh? But here's where we get into the nitty gritty, and like I don't really want to turn this into a politics podcast. That's not the point. But a bunch of the stuff that she has said on social media since leaving WWE, and a lot of it was prefaced with, "Well, now that I'm not there anymore, I can say this."
Yes,
And
it
it's
was
like, okay,
Tatiana Dumas. There we go.
yeah,
I
I'm
couldn't.
not with zero disrespect.
They
I have no
said
idea who that is.
NXT star Tatiana Dumas, but I don't recall her
Okay,
ever
I don't.
seeing her. They
Maybe if she was brought in for a squash match, she might have had another like a pseudonym or an alias. Like,
yeah,
let's give her a fake name for now because when she comes in and debuts properly, we don't want the squash match to be on her record
yeah, they went
type thing. They
public in
might have they might have done
December
something like that.
of
Okay,
2025, and then she
fair
got
enough.
let go recently in January, end of January timeline.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of people assume that that has to deal with that as well. That was also her like motivating factor for not re-signing. But like you said, everything that came out afterwards with these outbursts are just
Yeah. So
yeah,
here's where I want to go with this, right? We're not going to discuss the topic that she was ranting about because I don't want to turn this into a political podcast. I'm sure most people out there that have seen me on Twitter, I'm more outspoken there than I am on here. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that she said. Counterpoint, her social media, she can say whatever she likes.
yeah, no doubt.
I used to say, and I'm getting a little more hardlined in some of my other opinions. I used to say, I can't win. I've got views that would piss off both sides. That was my thing for a long time, and it's still very true. I kind of caveat that now with, yeah, I've got views that would piss off both sides, but only one side wants to kill me.
Very true.
Now, it is one of those things of I don't agree with what she said. I'll defend to the death her right to say it.
Yeah,
It's an old caveat from somewhere, right? I
you're more
don't
American than Americans, my friend, with your freedom of speech protecting.
where I have an issue is the whole heaping on of like, oh, WWE is MAGA and therefore WWE is the bad guys and therefore WWE is always wrong and nobody else can. So now that I'm free of the shackles of WWE and now I can speak my mind, and it's like you could just go out there and speak your mind.
Yeah,
Like it's
it's
you
fine.
know, I I don't think she's going to be walking out on an episode of NXT with t-shirts like somebody like a Brody Lee is, or Brody King, sorry,
Yeah,
is famous for wearing,
yeah.
because I'm pretty sure WWE, as mixed as they are, doesn't want to be associated with supporting terrorism.
They don't want to be
Gonna go out
supporting
there,
either side, really. They want to be
well, no,
as
gonna go out there on a limb. It's really tricky because as you say, like, you say entitled. The first thing that came to mind is like she's not in WWE anymore, and she's now the kid that can eat all the junk food because mom and dad are out of town, and I can stay up late and everything. I
yeah.
can use all I can use all the swear words because mom and dad aren't home. And I'm like,
Yeah.
uh,
That's what I'm saying,
and
though. That's why she rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. It wasn't so much the opinion, it's not having an opinion, it was the opinion, if that makes sense, because it always came across uneducated, juvenile, or, like, from the stance
but do you know?
of,
Okay,
what have you suffered? What have you that kind of thing, and I'm not saying everybody has to be,
but do you know what it is?
demoralized and
Like, okay,
beaten, but
and you and I have talked about it before, right? And I'm not putting these two people on the same level in any way, shape, or form because one of them is a great wrestler that's had a great career, and the other one is Ava. Let's be real for a second, right?
yeah.
But there's just such a way that people will they'll characterize, right? They'll do, I am this, they are this, they don't do this, I agree with this, therefore I'm a good person, right? Like it's that domino that always ends on, but I'm the good guy,
Yeah.
right? Ava's doing it with, the riots, the protests, and the law enforcement involved in that, etc. I'm not delving into that. It is what it is. But it's not only like I'm a really, really good person and my bosses were bad.
But the
Like,
people
yeah,
dealing with the thing that she's complaining about aren't even saying the things that she's saying. Do you
I
understand what I'm
know.
getting at? Like,
But do you know
the
what it
ones that are
reminds me
actually
of, right?
affected don't have the stance she has.
You know what it reminds me of? And I know he was probably doing it because he knew it would get attention. Do you remember there was an issue, right? In the early, early days of AEW, before I realized how obnoxious and toxic they were, and it was just like another thing that was on TV. Around the time of the Cody Dustin, that big street fight where everybody bled all over the place, right?
Yes.
There was people getting on him. Oh, nobody cares. You're just gold dust, whatever, which is like dickhead stuff, right?
Ridiculous,
Like
yeah.
don't be a dickhead. The guy had a career before Gold Dust. He made his name as Gold Dust, to be fair. And then he moved on and he's done some other cool shit in AEW. And good for him. I hope he is able to go on as long as he's gone on. I know he's dealt with medical shit and whatever.
Yeah.
But the copy paste response that he sent to a lot of people in that small frame of time was, "Don't ever call me Gold Dust. That's my slave name." I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are you doing?
That was
What the
my,
fuck are you doing?
come
And
on.
it's one of those like, I do respect you. Don't make
We
me
all
not
do. Yeah,
respect
don't
you.
make me, tell
Yeah.
mom and dad kind of idea. Like, that's what it
Don't make
feels
me add
like,
you.
though.
Don't make me add like Ava and Dustin Runnels to the list of like Jeff Jarrett and Mick Foley and MVP for the 100th time.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I can't say that. It's February.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just wanted to say, like, I wanted to have this conversation separate from the NXT conversation because it's become a different thing now. Because the Robert Stone thing, well, I'm sure we'll talk about it in the coming weeks. Robert Stone being the interim GM is it's a bookmark, but it's an intentional bookmark because if there's an interim GM, that gives us weeks and weeks and weeks to speculate who the actual GM could be.
Yes.
I think it's going to be Paige, personally.
Really? Now,
But
that
I
would be
think they
great. I would love that. But I've also heard she wants to come back as an active competitor. So,
hey, maybe she could do double duty. She can be an active member of the main roster, and she can
see, like, that's kind of my
GM.
problem right now with Pierce is the
Yeah.
fact that, like, he's the main antagonist for Braun Breaker, but it's
Okay.
not going to lead to a match at Mania between the two of them, you know? So it's like, it's kind of hard to, I don't know.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
So,
I have a very interesting discussion to have
ooh,
about that.
yes, indeed.
But
So
Robert
as you were saying,
Stone,
though, Robert Stone looks completely surprised. Like, he had no idea he was going to be announced the GM. And I thought that made it even more hilarious and better.
yeah, because he's like he's his character, and I mean this in a complimentary way because it's the character that he's playing. He always comes off as kind of like the slimy car salesman kind of
Yes.
guy, and like now the ultimate like slimy car salesman guy. Oh, somebody's gone, and this just landed in my lap. Sure, I'll take that.
Yeah. No doubt about it.
And you can have some fun with that, and you can have you can probably even get some comedy out of that in the ensuing weeks where like I'm sure they'll pick and choose like, oh, this decision that was made by Ava or that decision that was made by Ava. Yeah, but she's gone now, and I'm gonna do this and make some flagrant, like there'll be some weird, oh, that Robert Stone type of thing. But I just wanted to take the second to acknowledge that the issue of Ava leaving, multifaceted as it is entirely separate from the fictional, oh my God, who's going to be the new GM?
Yeah.
Because I do think Ava, like, okay, I don't think Ava was that good.
No,
I
but
don't
she was
think,
also made to look like an idiot at times too, so it didn't
oh, yeah.
help. One hand didn't
But here's,
really wash the other. you know?
But you know what it is? And I think growing up and becoming an adult is just realizing all the people that you think are kind of decent are kind of shit. But
Yes.
like my defense for the Bellas in their heyday, let me be clear, not
Not
now. Now
now.
that we know now that we know that one of them is wrestling's Amber Heard. But back
Ugh.
in the day, my defense of the Bellas was no, they are not fantastic. They are not 10 out of 10 wrestlers. But there's a lot of dickheads out there calling them twos because they're not 10.
Yes.
And I think that's a fair way to go about it, right?
And that was an
And
unfair
it was.
criticism on them. Yes,
And
I
you know what?
agree.
Take my opinion of them personally out of the equation. I still think they're getting a little bit of that now because they're not twos or ones in the ring.
No.
They're decent. They can hold up their end. They can be another body in there for actual stars. But
Yes.
don't call them twos because they're not tens. I'll say that even now, even though I can't stand them anymore. But I think that the fact that Ava wasn't great became Ava's horrible, and therefore we can shit on her and show like the deepest, darkest underbelly of the internet
Yeah.
because she might be a Nepo baby. And she probably was. Let's be real for a second.
Oh, I mean, a lot of what we heard
Um,
and how she got into the positions
but like the
and
layers
she kept
of
failing upwards. I mean, it was rather obvious for most of it.
yeah. And I mean, they even had The Rock go down there on that night where he gave like the really,
Where
really
he had
drunk promo
no
in the
idea
ring.
what the fuck he was going to say. And she somehow inspired him to talk, Dad, talk. You know,
No, don't
like you
you count
taught
down The
me.
Rock. But like there's a layer there, but every point I could make one way immediately comes back the other way. It's like, no, she wasn't great. No, she wasn't as bad as people said it was. No, she didn't deserve a lot of the shit that she got.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
it, it
a good majority of it I felt like was deserved. I don't feel like all of
yeah.
it was though, and I think because she earned some of that, that it made it seem like all of it's okay, and that's when the hate came into
Yeah.
it, and the criticism no longer was, "Oh, you're not doing a good job at GM." It's you're a terrible person, you're annoying, you're that kind of thing.
Okay, but
So,
it's okay. Stupidest thing I'm probably gonna say tonight, no promises. Kid
well,
acts up in class, the kid gets a detention. The kid doesn't get thrown off the roof of the building.
yeah, that's my point. That's what I was
That's
trying to get to. Yeah, because
so
people
it's one of
really
those.
came for her
But if
throat,
but if you follow the
feeling like
train,
that
right?
was okay.
If you follow the train of like, no, she wasn't great. No, she wasn't as bad as people said she was. Yes, she deserved criticism. No, she didn't deserve the other. Is it kind of a neutral thing that she's leaving WWE? Yeah. Is she going out and having a social media temper tantrum? Yes. Do I agree with her? No. Does she have the right to do it? Yes. Is it kind of petty that she's now using her social media, like what's a buzzword of the day, temper tantrum, to then now backlash at the place that she was working less than a week ago? No.
Yeah.
So I'm really like, I'm on the point of the fence here. I'm so perched on the fence that my ass has splintered. But I don't hate her. I'm just doing one of those like, fuck are you doing?
See, I didn't hate
Like,
her. I hated the character
no.
she portrayed in the sense of like it was eye-rolling, inducing, and irritating. But
Yeah.
it wasn't against her. It was just she wasn't the fit for the role. It was never,
What didn't help either was like they gave her two assistants, right?
yeah,
But she was already the assistant to Shawn Michaels.
exactly.
And her two
And
assistants were way more charismatic than she was. Which is again is partially her, partially like how they chose to position her.
yeah,
Anyways, we got way more out of that than I thought we would. I will say very quickly, the main event last night, the 7-person ladder match. I think everybody in this match kicked ass.
oh yeah, damn fun. Most of these
Freaking what's
people have never
the
even had a ladder match before.
Yeah, they were saying, yeah.
Like that's a nuts statistic, and that's why NXT is good. The only complaint I have is
It's
why
not
has
that
all the
crazy though,
plunder
right?
gotten so cheap?
Yeah, fair.
You notice
I do
that?
like Keanu Carver like ripping apart a ladder with his
Yeah,
hands.
and
Which
I'm
it's funny
oh,
because it's one of those things that only makes sense in wrestling. On the
yes,
one hand, in the wrestling sense, oh my god, look how strong that guy is. He just ripped a ladder apart. And then if you take a beat, if you take half a breath to think about that, don't you want to climb that to get the
you get
belt?
the but there's the
It's
other one.
funny. It's funny. I'm just taking the
What
piss.
it was the same
But
thing as Starks not climbing up the ladder and getting because he had to celebrate basically, and then Hendry comes up behind him.
yeah.
I'm stoked for Hendry.
I think he jumped the gun on climbing the ladder. I did like
Shiloh Hill was amazing.
Shiloh Hill with
he-
the ladder stilts.
even the other shit that he did on the outside and how
Yeah.
he's just like a force to be reckoned with because he's so crazy. He's ingenious. his YouTube channel is all over the place, and I've watched him for a while now. And first, he's telling you how to get earthworms out of the ground. Then he made his own AI security system. Like, you never know what the guy is going to come up with. And I can picture them being like, "Oh, too bad somebody couldn't walk on stilts." And he's like, "Oh, I could do that, no problem." Like that's him. That's Shiloh. Like that's exactly what you get. And I've really enjoyed his character. It's kind of a person turned up to 11 for the first time in a long time.
Yeah. I do say, and I know somebody on Twitter thought I was doing it as a dig, but like me calling him Happy Wyatt is like he's a more hyper, I want to say maybe more positive version of a Bray Wyatt, because even under all the happy and all the excitement and all the there's a superficial version of
Yes.
the just happy to be here guy, but maybe I don't. I go back to what I said last week. Like maybe I wouldn't hand him my cat.
I mean,
It
yeah,
is what it is.
it is.
But
It is a worry.
he probably wants to pet my cat, but I don't want him to take the cat's head off. Like it's one of those, and to have a comedy character with the sinister edge just underneath. I was kind of hoping that was the kind of turn they were going to do when they turned R-Truth into Ron Killings for one night and gave him a haircut.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
thought we were gonna
I
get
like it.
something of it, but that's not what happened.
But what's his name? The Evolve guy, Jackson Drake,
Yes, yes.
impressed the hell out of me.
Oh, he
He
was
looked
fantastic.
he looked really small in the match, but that's
That he
not,
did, but that's not a slight. And
but he did all the Elastic Man, Plastic Man, Galactic Man, all over the place, man. Everybody looked good. Joe Hendry was there. There were parts in the match that were like, oh look, it's Joe Hendry and Ricky Saints and some other guys. But
yeah,
I mean, speaking of other
because
guys,
they're
I
the only
mean,
two that had even an
Sean
entrance.
Sean Sean Legacy was in there, and I can't tell you a single thing that he did. Like, I know that he was there, and I know that he did his part, but if you ask me anything specifically that he did, I probably couldn't tell you.
See, he impressed me too a couple of times. I was like,
Mm,
damn, he's really snappy. He's got the crowd behind him, but
mm.
I don't know. After a
Yeah,
while,
he's almost the legitimate just happy to be there guy turned up to 11.
yeah,
I, uh I almost wish that one more big guy was in there to sort of balance Keanu Carver. My default right now is Josh Briggs, but right now Josh Briggs is in yet another, excuse me, another, what do you call it, tournament semifinal, quarterfinal to face for the speed title.
yeah.
What I love,
Uh,
okay, here's the thing, and I'm gonna keep saying it. People don't like the speed title. At most, it takes up 3 minutes of the show. It's
yeah.
not enough to get angry about. I don't mind the speed matches. I think it's something a little bit different. Just something with a slightly different structure does shake up the show, even if you don't like it. It is becoming one of those things that I enjoy more and more because of the people that are getting overly wound up about.
See, that's the thing. I'm not wound up about it, but I am tired
I
of
know,
it. The
not you.
gimmick, the gimmick. No, no, I'm just saying though. The gimmick is overdone for me now. I've lost the joy in it,
Mm,
and that's unfortunate because like LaFleur and Dempsey had a good match, but it breaks the
okay, pause.
psychology of wrestling.
Okay, pause. I gotta say something. I'm the NXT guy. I defend almost everything NXT does, right?
Hmm.
My God, I could not give a flying fuck about Elio LaFleur.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I have no connection to even Charlie Dempsey at this point. I care about a little bit because of the Regal thing, but even then, it's like we
Mm.
barely ever see him. It's like, oh, a rare Charlie sighting. Um,
I like
I
Dempsey.
the
I've kind
Rush
of
Speed
accepted him as a
match.
guy that I kind of accepted Charlie as just a guy that's here
Yeah,
sometimes. But
and
like when he actually gets a match, he he's one of those guys who's like it's nothing to do with the character. I'll watch him in a match because I want to see what he does in the match. Like he's becoming one of those guys for me. But because of that, because it's not a character investment, it's literally um an in-ring investment. So every now and then, every couple of weeks, when a random Charlie appears, I'm like, oh, cool, I got a Charlie match. Fantastic.
yeah. Um,
Elio LaFleur, though,
I have
like,
no care about another luchador that's from France. Like it just does nothing for me. I have a hard time with even like a lot of the Japanese wrestlers. They got to do a lot because of the language barrier, and I admit that
mm,
openly. So
mm.
for them to really like,
I
oh,
need him to get a mask that fits.
That
Like,
as
I know
well,
that shouldn't bug me as much as it does. And the other thing is as
but it
well,
does.
here's the thing, and I feel bad saying this because I'm the NXT guy. Everybody in NXT looks better when they go somewhere else. We talked about, Jade Cargill and Trick Williams and even JC Jane and Tatum Paxley
Yeah,
having
they look
a
like
new
bigger
lease on life
stars.
when they showed up in TNA for a bit, right? I'm doing the AAA shows. I'm catching the weekly shows. It's less than an hour. It's a really digestible piece of content. I really like it. He was in a fatal four-way for the contendership for the cruiserweight belt that Laredo Kid has right now.
Yeah.
Um, and he looks more. I don't want to say he stands out more, but he looks like he's more comfortable in AAA than NXT, which is wild to say because yes, it's all WWE now,
Yeah,
but
but
like
there is a
there's
difference.
something like there's a gear that's missing. Like
Yeah, no,
maybe they
absolutely.
need to keep him as a AAA guy. Oh, speaking of, did you watch AAA this week?
No, I didn't yet, so you
So
can
you don't know who won that fatal four-way to face Laredo Kid.
no, who won? You have to fill me
Blast
in.
blast from the cruiserweight past.
Dun, dun.
TJP.
Really? See, that excites
Yeah,
me.
it
I
does.
always
I was like,
enjoyed him.
but they didn't even it was almost funny. And again, I'm repeating myself from the solo pod. So those of you that listen to the solo pod, you'll have to excuse me for a second. It's almost funny, and it was almost a little bit better that they didn't make a big deal of him like as a comeback person.
Yeah,
Like, oh my god, we're debuting TJP. It's like, yeah, because they're the other fatal four way was the first round of qualifier for the Rey de Reyes
yeah.
tournament. So that's the one that was getting all the focus. Apollo Cruz was in that. Um, but yeah, no, there's like, oh, we're also gonna have another fatal four way, and it's gonna be for the challenger for Laredo Kid. And it was like, oh, who was it? It was La Parca, it was Ilio Lafleur. Uh oh, got something. Dude with like a really, really regular name and TJP. And they
Yes.
just rhymed it off like it was anything else on the menu that day. I'm like, like, and I did a double take and I looked at the graphic and I'm like, nah,
Holy
like
hell.
there's somebody else with the same initials or
Yeah.
something.
Where
And he
did
came
this
in and he killed
happen?
it.
You
He
know,
was
yeah.
okay. And he's such a dickhead. He's like athletic Miz. Again, repeating myself,
Yes, but
totally played the role of athletic Miz. The whole thing that they played up at Saturday night's main event with Trick of like, I'll wait till somebody else does a move and then I'll steal the pin,
yeah.
like that taken up to 11.
Ooh. So that's
And
definitely fun.
it was a lot of fun. It was really good. It was that in the previous pod, it was that and me finding out that they're gonna have Trey Miguel be the one to save the international title from NXT and Stacks.
Mm.
Were the two big high points of the solo pod from this past Sunday. But yeah, no, TJP back.
Glad to hear that. I mean, you certainly has
So it
has
means
had a tell of a past there. I mean, he's been wrestling for a long time,
yeah.
so
But it means at some point, probably at the Rey de Reyes pay-per-view, we're gonna get TJP versus Laredo Kid for the cruiserweight title.
yeah.
It was
That's
a lot of
kind of
fun.
my thought right now is why don't they bring back, the lightweight, cruiserweight, anything like that for NXT instead of doing the speed titles? Because I feel like they can get so much more mileage out of that than what we're
I think
getting.
the problem at this point is WWE has tried it so many times that I think it'll be met with resistance, not because it's a bad idea, but because of failures. Like you got to try twice as hard, three times as hard, four times as hard. No, we're going to get it right this time.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, everybody kind of goes and visits AAA. It's the new project. It's the new shiny toy and whatever. But like they sent Javon there. I think they sent Leon Slater there one time. The Berto and Angel were down there. Lola Vice is like making a second home down there.
Yeah.
I think for that
With their
cruiserweight
double
title,
contract. Yeah.
for the cruiserweight title, I think it just might be a case of if you have somebody that's smaller and you want to put them over as being high flying, have them go on. It's sort of a man-made excursion because it's all within WWE, but have them have like a 2, 3, 4 month run in in Javon Evans is
Yes.
just been booked on Monday Night Raw, right? So he's a
Yes.
Monday Night Raw superstar. Have him go on, like I say, like a mini excursion to AAA for a couple of months, whatever. pick up the cruiserweight title, and make sure you feature that on Raw. Create
Yes.
like an artificial like invasion type, or not invasion, but like crossover type of thing. And our proud new Raw superstar Javon Evans has gone down to AAA and he's found some success, whatever. Kind of like what Hank and Tank did in Noah, which is actually an excursion.
Yes.
Um,
A real
but the same kind
excursion.
of thing. Yeah. Speaking of tag teams, you know what the tag team title match is probably going to be at Rey de Reyes?
What's that?
Psycho Circus versus the Viking Raiders.
Yeah. And the Viking Raiders getting squashed by Oba. Huh. But
Yeah,
what a
that was their write off to go to AAA for a
yeah.
while.
Get to go
AAA, okay,
disappear.
they're sending down the Viking Raiders. Okay, we've gone on a total AAA tangent for a second, which is absolutely fine because I really, because nobody talks about AAA.
Yeah.
It's the brand that I'm having the most fun with because I don't have anybody
See,
being dickheads.
that's
And giving
exactly
me
how I
analysis
feel
paralysis.
about JCW Lunacy. I've gotten into
Oh
some of
yeah,
the characters there. They've added
nice,
some older wrestlers. Like, it's just been a lot of
very cool.
fun to see. Russo says that he's going to beat Monday Night Raw with the ratings, that kind of shit again. But it's just funny to see like how it's playing out.
Nice.
And with all the history they've had over the years, like you said, that quick 1 hour digestible formula goes a long way.
I just like the fact that AAA has imported the Viking Raiders onto a show that already has the brand spanking new feud of Vikingo versus Mini Vikingo.
Yes.
Mini Vikingo getting chucked around by Omos like an empty tracksuit that owed him money.
Yeah, I saw the gifs of that.
Here's the thing. Like, I saw Mini Vikingo and I'm like, this guy is a bone rack. And then I saw him actually wrestle against I think it was Octagon and the third person, I don't remember. It was like 3 weeks ago. But it's
Yeah.
like, okay, that guy looks like a bone rack. He's clearly going to be like the awkward third guy in the ring. And yeah, he's actually pretty kick-ass.
See?
He's literally Mini Vikingo.
That's awesome.
And then he stares down Omos. And Omos is so big, when he picked him up, it didn't even look like there was any momentum to it because that's how much weight he doesn't have.
Yeah. He's just
like the power bomb looked. If you don't watch the whole episode, just go watch the power bomb. The power bomb looks dangerous.
Yes.
It was
I saw it on
because
Twitter immediately. That was
because they
not
came out right
missable.
after the fatal four-way and TJP had just won. TJP evacuates the ring looking like he's shitting his pants, and Vikingo stares him down. He says, No, we're not here for you. Just give us him. TJP chucks him in the ring and fucks off.
He just leaves.
Oh, really good. Really nice. Really
it.
fun, strong AAA tangent there. But yeah, long story short, for NXT, we got an interim GM and a new champion in Joe Hendry, which is fun. Pretty much solidifies to me that they're giving that title to Ricky Saints at Stand and Deliver. Oi, oi, oi.
Oi, oi, oi. It seems like it.
Okay.
Definitely
So,
seems like that's the plan.
We've kind of brushed over NXT a little bit because I want to go to Raw.
Well, the only thing I really wanted to touch on is the thing that I have kind of the most issue with, which is the Soul Zarya Zol Ruka storyline. I mean, I guess they're now hitting the crescendo of their friendship breaking up. But
they're going to break it up next week. They've got that match where it's a tag match, but whoever wins the pin is going to be the one that gets the singles title match.
Yes.
That's designed to be the breakup.
So my thought was, we'll see, obviously, but I was thinking the way it seems to play out is that Zarya will go for the pin, Soul will get it, and then I figured Zarya would cost Soul the title, and that would lead to them having their match at Stand and Deliver. Oi, oi, oi. I mean, there's a lot of ways they can go about it, but
I'm pretty sure unless she gets called up beforehand, Soul Ruka's title match is going to be at Stand and Deliver. Oi, oi, oi. I think the blow off of their feud, like they'll have the feud and get it over with, and then call me crazy. I think she's going to try against JC Jane at Stand and Deliver. Oi, oi, oi. Fail and go up to the main roster.
Ooh.
They had her final three in the Rumble with friggin' Liv Morgan, and who was the third person? My brain is soup.
Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton.
Oh, Tiffany Stratton, that's right. But like, look how highly they think of Tiffany Stratton. Obviously, Liv Morgan was the winner, and you've got a supposed mid-carder from NXT as your third person in the final three. That's not by accident.
No, they think very highly of her, and she's going a long way. We know that for damn sure.
And I hate saying this because you can't always go backward. Like, not everybody can pull a Becky Lynch and go backwards and go grab an NXT title.
No.
I think Sol Ruca is one of those ones that could get away with getting called up without ever having been champion. I don't know whether I necessarily want it to go that way.
I could
But
see it. I could see it because it's
I don't think it would hurt
rather
her.
than keep her around, go ahead and
Yeah.
make it happen this way.
I it's weird. I don't know where I got this from. There's 2 matches that I've come up with this week that I kinda wanna see, and I can't really put my finger on why. One of them is Kenny Omega versus Dolph Ziggler.
Okay.
The other one is Sol Ruca versus Julia.
I get the Kenny Omega one, so
Kenny Omega will do some cool shit, and Dolph Ziggler will make it look cool.
yes, absolutely. No, I see
It's
that
all good.
working excellently, but
But, no, I don't like I say, I don't wanna take that away from people because there's only, like who really, like, stepped back and had another run? Becky Lynch did it, Finn Balor did it.
yeah.
I don't think anybody else ever did it for an extended like, you could say
Charlotte
Baron
got
Corbin.
the NXT title, but it was kinda when
Yeah.
everything stopped, so
Yeah. There was but that was just, like, her being on the main roster and
I
holding a
think that
title. Like,
yeah, it wasn't
Finn actually went back. Becky kind of was running 2 separate shows at the same time. Baron Corbin went back for a run, but I think that was more to get Braun Breaker over with the Wolf Dogs.
yeah, at least it
So,
seemed that way.
you don't wanna say, "Oh, they don't need that title, just put them up," because they may never get a chance to get it, and if you can't win the first one, you can never say you won all of them. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? But at the same time,
exactly.
I don't think she's hurt by not having it either.
I don't think so
Um,
one bit. Honestly, I don't think she needs the title
I
because
need
what do you do? Have a super short reign so she beats JC at Stand and Deliver? How long do we wait for her to go to the main roster then? I'd rather see Soul in the main roster than have her SmackDown needs
here's the thing,
women,
and
you know?
here's where it's gonna kinda get really even, and we'll have to talk about it more when we get to Stand and Deliver Oi 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 season that also happens to have WrestleMania in it. Um, one of them has to go up. I'm pretty damn sure that Sol Ruca versus JC Jane is your match for Stand and Deliver Oi Oi Oi,
Yeah,
right?
it seems like it.
And
But
one of them
I'm not
here's
100%
the
sold on it yet.
here's the thing about it though, right? You are fighting at the biggest party of the summer, or biggest party of the year, I should say, for the biggest title on your brand, and the loser gets to go up to the main roster.
Yeah.
I know that's always been a constant concern of, like, NXT. It's like every pay-per-view, "Oh, well, they need to lose because it's time for them to go up." Look
Yeah,
how
but
long we
that
said it about Roxanne Perez.
no kidding, and Jordan Grace and, so many
Yeah.
others, so
Yeah, see? Jordan Grace, never the, NXT champion.
nope, and it
That's
didn't
why she's
hurt her
hurting.
one bit.
Yeah. Well, I hope they go full bore with her rather than saving Jade Cargill for Bianca Belair, but that's another story for another day, and I'm not allowed to say that because it's February.
Yes.
Moving swiftly
You know what'll
moving
happen.
swiftly on. So, going over to Raw, and we're gonna talk about Roman and Punk last. Like I said, blatant engagement strategy on my part.
I had to tease it, yes.
Here's the thing, right? Things can fall apart in booking patterns. Things can go crazy. You can look at an act, even if you like the act, and be like, I have no idea how am I supposed to get engaged with this? I have no idea where they're going. Flip it on its head. I have no idea where this act is going, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I don't either, and,
Can you okay, can you give me a single answer to the question, what is the Vision doing right now?
yeah, there's no point to them. They're literally just a group of what's supposed
Opposite.
to be
No.
badasses, but they feel like jobbers.
Opposite. I love it. I knew you and I were gonna fall on the opposite end of this.
Yes.
The Vision have more stories going on right now than any other group in the company.
No argument there, yeah. They're
Okay, here we go.
multi-entwined and
Bu
everything in Monday Night Raw,
bullet
yeah.
points. Bullet points, right?
Yes.
Seth's coming for Braun at some point. Seth might be the guy in the black hood. Black
More than
hoods were on
likely,
sale this
yeah.
week, so everybody got one. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So the Vision potentially, or at least some members of the Vision, depending on how the split goes, are going to be fighting Seth Rollins. The Vision right now, through Paul Heyman, is at war with Adam Pearce.
Yes.
The Vision is being hunted currently by LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Vision is struggling with the fact that through a certain point of view, they are famous YouTuber Logan Paul and his friends.
Yes.
The Vision also have an unfinished battle going with the I would say, the new Lucha House Party of Rey Mysterio, Penta, Dragon Lee, and possibly Rey Fenix, because that was teased for a while, and we're
Yeah.
gonna bring in Rey Fenix and do a 4-on-4 maybe if Seth's not healthy. So
Certainly feels that way.
I love the vision right now because when they come out on TV, I don't know who they're going for that particular week.
Okay,
They're
I
gunning
get
they're
that.
gunning for Pierce. They're gunning for Pierce. They're looking over their shoulder for LA Knight. The ghost of Seth is in the ether. Maybe separate from that, maybe not. They still have to figure out who the black guy in the hood or the guy in the black hood. Sorry,
Yes.
Freudian slip.
Yeah.
They got luchadors coming after them. And Logan Paul still feels like separate guy, but in the group. And with Logan Paul comes an outside of wrestling. Oh my God, we're not supposed to like that guy because.
And Austin Theory could be a mole this whole time. People are saying, "Oh, look, it's going to be Buddy Murphy coming
Hey,
back next," and I'm like, "No, he's still in
it,
AEW." But I get your point.
it's okay to have a mole as long as you get it checked.
Hey, non-cancerous, so we hope.
As long as Kramer comes at you with the meat slicer. Hey, if anybody
Hey,
gets that reference, hit it up in the comment section. I don't think they're going back around to Punk for obvious reasons. I do like the rumor that of all these guys, Austin Theory and Logan Paul are going to be the tag team of the group.
yes.
Because shoot me if you want to, because you're not supposed to like the Usos and you're not supposed to like Logan Paul and Austin Theory is a nobody and whatever. On paper, Austin Theory, Logan Paul versus the Usos is not a bad match.
No, not at all.
I mean, it's mostly like Jey Uso and brother versus Logan Paul and friend.
Yes.
But
it still feels like, because what are they doing with the Usos at this point? That's a
well, they had to talk around it for a lot of weeks. And this is one time where I can't really dig them out for it because it's WWE doing the right thing. Jimmy's at home with his wife. His wife's about to have a kid. He's not going to leave the country.
But at
He's
least
not going on.
You already knew that she's pregnant. Like, why make them tag champs then if he can't be there for most of the build? You know what I mean? Like,
no, I get that. No,
have forethought.
Valid, right? But it completely valid as far as a booking decision point of view. They wanted a happy moment to end the year.
Oh, really. I get that.
They wanted a bookmark moment, and you can't just reschedule when the new year is.
No,
and I sound like a dickhead saying that because I'm not trying to be condescending, but like sometimes it just is what it is.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
I think they could have done a lot better with that.
Even though the booking decision around it was not the greatest, I'm not going to shoot on WWE for letting the guy stay home with his wife. Obviously, he's not going on the UK tour. Obviously, he's not coming up here to Canada. Obviously, he's not trucking over to Saudi. I mean, I don't want to break any hearts here, but Jimmy Uso wasn't going to win the Royal Rumble this year.
No,
it wasn't going to be an
Uso. It wasn't in the
twofer.
cards.
No, the cards are set aside in Vegas for
exactly.
Mania. Come on.
It's all for Mania.
Friggin', I like the fact that the Hardys are like petitioning online now, apparently, for one more big Mania moment. They want the Hardys versus the Usos versus the Lucha Brothers in a ladder match.
I mean, how do you argue against that? The Hardys coming back were one of the highlights of WrestleMania, for the Hardys, entire WrestleMania.
You're never going to find a bigger Hardy mark than me. And I want them to have a WrestleMania moment. And it would be a ladder match because it's the Hardys.
Yes.
And I love the Hardys. Like, unabashedly, as a wrestling fan, I love the Hardys. I love Team Extreme, the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff, Brother Nero, Broken Matt, whatever you want to call them.
Willow, all of it.
I always will. I always will, right? I am getting to the point with them a little bit where they're going to fall on their faces one day and it's going to be heartbreaking. And I don't want to see it. And
that's kind of why I want them to go to Mania now and then because they're at that end. So having this chance,
I'm never going to say no because Hardys versus the Usos versus the Lucha Brothers. Everybody's like, oh, well, if we really want to see who's the best tag team, most popular tag team, whatever, just put the Usos against the Young Bucks. I'm sorry. The Usos are not going to lower themselves to facing the wannabe Hardys when they can face the actual Hardys. But yeah, no, that was my thing on that with the Vision. Everybody saying, oh my God, the Vision is in such disarray. The booking is so messy. And I'm looking at it as like, oh my God, Vision is in such disarray. Look at how messy this is.
Yeah,
It's
see,
awesome.
I see your point, but it's just to me, like, it doesn't feel
I
like the
get
good
why
guys
it's
are
okay.
really getting the weight in on the bad guys, but it also feels like the bad guys are just failing at everything. So no side is winning in my eyes. That's kinda how it feels.
I get that. And as I say, like, there's elements of it where I'm putting my blind it was very much like the NXT ladder match.
Yes.
It's like, look at all these fucking characters. Look at all these pieces on the board.
Yeah.
Like, I'm giving it that kind of appreciation, not necessarily a, "Oh my god, this is the greatest booking ever." Like, Seth could come
Yeah.
back next week. We could find out that it was Jake Paul in the mask, which a lot of people are speculating as well. And I will say, going back on what I said, if it is Jake Paul, if that is actually true, then I'm sorry, it's the Usos versus the Paul brothers at WrestleMania,
Right?
just to make all the
Oh,
right people angry.
sign it up. I would
But I
see
just think
that.
it's
I'm sure Jake would do well if they trained him enough through it, Jake could do it.
oh yeah. But there's people out there that still swear that Logan Paul is a bad wrestler because they don't like him. That's not how any of this works. I feel like the
No.
old lady with the pictures on the wall. That's not how any of this works.
And I mean, it sucks that you
Um,
don't wanna like him, I get it, I didn't wanna like him either, but I've always admitted he's damn good at what he does.
exactly. Exactly. It's
And
like people
people, the
coming
right
for
people trust him to do
yeah.
said things,
It's like
so
people coming for fucking Jelly Roll. Like,
yeah.
Buddy was on all kinds of drugs and weighed like a bazillion pounds, lost a bunch of weight, had a wrestling match, has a kick-ass music career, and goes out there and occasionally riles you all up because he's not shy to talk about God. I'm not a God guy, but I'll listen to somebody else that's excited to talk about God.
Yeah.
Uso's out there with the God has a plan shirt and
Y
everybody getting twisted all up about that. It's like, come on now.
They're just
Of
getting
all the of all
themselves
of all
worked.
the of all the of all the narratives that get forced in the big 26, which is an expression I'm already getting sick of. That's the one that's going to get you all riled up. Okay, I see where you're operating from. It's fine.
Yeah, I see where your head's at.
Here's the thing. I'm with everybody else, right? Like obviously the big news that we got this week is the big news and you're not going to touch it, right? If that wasn't the case, I wouldn't mind Braun Breaker still being in the world title picture. But here's the thing, even if it's several notches down the card, those four guys, those four characters, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, Logan Paul, taking on Ray, Penta, Phoenix, and Dragon Lee, that sounds fun as fuck.
It
That
does sound
is your
entertaining.
that's no, but that's your WrestleMania. Okay, we've just done this serious feud. We've just done that serious feud. Now this is just going to be crazy for a bit before we get to our next serious feud. And people underestimate how important that is on a WrestleMania card.
Yeah.
And the oddball collection of guys like the Vision shouldn't work. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed as a tag team worked. Throwing in Logan Paul was weird. Throwing in Austin Theory made it even weirder. They've got the hump to get over there as well of, hey, it's the 27th rebrand of Austin Theory. Next thing you know, he'll be in the Don Callis family. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But like it's all these puzzle pieces. It's the puzzle pieces that you punch together to make them work because you're tired of working on the puzzle.
Yeah. You're
And
just like,
that,
"This is not the edge, but I'm making it be such."
no, he went to AEW. It's fine. He's going to retire
Uh,
twice in the same building. Don't worry
that's
about it.
right. Maybe a
But
third, well, 3 times
all
now.
all these puzzle pieces that you're punching together for no reason versus an entirely believable unified faction that's never tagged together before of Ray and the other Ray and Penta and Dragon sounds fun
Yeah.
because the Luchadors are the thrown together team and the Vision would still look like the thrown together team.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe I want to see that more than seeing him have another singles title match that people are going to shit on like they did for no reason on Raw a couple of weeks ago.
It's all they
But
needed.
we're getting Finn and Punk in Chicago, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Now,
Dun,
I've
dun.
lingered on the engagement strategy long enough. We are not.
Dun,
Again,
dun.
this is me. This is from my personal point of view. We are once again. I'll do the Sanders thing. I am once again asking for. I'm not getting it. I am not for the third year in a row. Yes, I'm a dickhead. For the third year in a row, I am not getting Cody Rhodes, CM Punk at WrestleMania in the main event for the WWE Championship. Mostly because Punk is the world champion and Cody's not the WWE champion anymore.
Yeah.
And neither of them won the Rumble, and Roman won the Rumble, and here we are.
So I'm going to say this right off the bat, right,
okay.
and then I'll let you rant because I just.
I'm not going to rant.
No,
I'm not gonna rant.
I've heard it 100 times already. Oh, you're just upset because it's not what you want, and it's no, that's not it. It's feels like the least effort put in as possible. Yes, Punk and Roman are a solid main event. It's two of the biggest. It makes sense. But everything done with Roman has been on like recycle for forever now. We've done past the promo, which was damn good on Monday Night Raw, because you know they're going to deliver an excellent promo. I loved the delivery, but it didn't really make me want to see the match anymore. We saw it last year, yes, with Seth, but we saw it. And we've seen multiple iterations of the same thing with Roman, where either he and Cody, he and Drew, and he and Punk, none of it was a great choice. And I get why they're putting him in the Rumble seat, because especially after all those comments, but I think it's a piss poor idea. And you're getting Drew and Cody and possibly Jacob for the triple threat. That does virtually nothing for me as well. I've seen Drew and Cody
we'll talk about
ad
that in a second
nauseum.
too.
So it really just feels like WrestleMania 41 Part 2. And I don't know. I'm hoping for more, but the more we get, it feels like less and less.
I love that we're disagreeing tonight.
Absolutely.
I think this is fantastic.
It's what I look for.
I think there's some people out there that think you and I just always fall into lockstep, and like how much that's not the case. Here's my thing. You know what I hate? I hate having to admit I'm wrong when I'm not actually wrong. I need Cody and Punk. We all know why I need Cody and Punk.
Yes.
Because I am a petty individual. I am a vindictive individual. And being tribal is, in fact, not a bad thing. Don't believe what you heard.
It's not a bad thing, but there's so much more to it than any type of tribalistic nature of why you want it. Even if they had never stepped foot in AEW, you would still want Cody and Punk.
Would. 100%.
It adds to it tenfold, no doubt. I see your point, but I just want to make that known too, because people are like, oh, it's only the anti-Tony sentiment. And it's like, no, you fucking fool. That makes it even more delicious, but it's not the whole
I don't
cake.
mind. See, here's the thing. I don't mind people saying that, because a lot of the reason that I want it is because fuck AEW. And I'm not going to stand behind a rock or hide behind a tree. I'm going to say, no, fuck you guys. You guys are upset now that you know what I say is true. This is the best example of, hey, Cracky Khan, you could have had this.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So I've been obsessed with this match for 3 years now.
And
I believe
I've wanted it even longer,
if I take the blinders off for a second, the tribal blinders, the tribal blinders got stolen by the tribal thief. Don't worry about it. Hey, Bronson Reed's back. I don't know about better, but if I'm honest, this feels bigger.
Yeah.
For a bunch of reasons. There is way more history between Roman and Punk, as they made perfectly clear in their opening salvo on Monday Night Raw, right?
Yeah.
It's big, man. It's really, really big. Punk was the guy, and then WWE dropped the ball. Roman was the ball that was dropped for so long, and then he became the guy. So they're the opposites in that regard. You were the guy, I was the guy, we're both still here. And it's Punk getting his night 2 main event, which again is, you can put as much or as little investment into that part of the story as you want. Punk wanted to main event WrestleMania. He got it last year. And you always have to do the little shrug of, yeah, but did he? Because I'm sorry, the only people that want to really, 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 and this is no offense to people like the Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and the people that have had some of those awesome first night main events, but the people that really push home for the WrestleMania main event status of night 1 are the ones that just really, really, really want to say that Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair are WrestleMania main eventers.
Yeah.
They're middle of the. Okay, if you look at the whole weekend, I'm not saying they are mid-carders. Big difference here. They are middle of the carders because night one of WrestleMania's main event is the middle of the card.
Yeah. I mean, I
It is
get
the
that.
center of the card.
I see it also too because it is the main event of night one, and
I get it.
I get it.
I get it. I get it. It's the one that gets to sit. It's the one that gets to sit in your mind the way it used to when WrestleMania was one night and Raw was the next night.
Yeah.
So I get it from that perspective, but it's not. If there's more WrestleMania, then WrestleMania is not over, and if WrestleMania is not over, then it's not the main event. Anyways, moving swiftly on. I thought there was a bunch of compromises made last year. Okay, Punk's got a night one main event. It's in a triple threat match. It's not for a title, blah, 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 blah. He's got his real main event this year. Love that. Love that for him. And it is important for him to go to the main event with a guy that lived in that main event for so many years in a row. They didn't touch on that in the promo, obviously, because they're not going to be throwing respect at each other.
No.
But it has to be touched on at some point. Punk has achieved this for the first time with a guy that knows him, with a guy that he knows, and with a guy that has been in that spot so many times.
Yes.
That's a key part of it as well. I hate to admit that this is a bigger match than the match that I wanted, and within one night, I'm more into it than I would have wanted to admit before Roman made his decision. Because I was still pulling for, Roman will go back to SmackDown for his title. Cody will get in the chamber. I'll get the match that I want. You know, Jacob Fatu will go somewhere. It'll be fine. Drew McIntyre will be like, I'm in the kickoff match again. What happened here now? He's not a pirate. I shouldn't have done that.
Yar.
But like, as much as I didn't want to admit it, as soon as they confirmed it, I knew it was right. And I hate that because I'm stubborn. But oh my God, I'm looking forward to this match. Now, here's where I'm going to get into like the multi layers of how awesome Monday was, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In very, very different ways, as far as the fan base is going, and as far as dividing the fan base goes, you'd have to go a long way to find a wrestler that divides wrestling fans more than CM Punk.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns comes pretty close. Roman Reigns, people still like to pelter him with the whole like shitty John Cena 2.0 babyface run that he had up to and including COVID. People that want to deny that the bloodline was great tried to say that was, it's just overplayed and da-da-da-da-da, and he's politicking and whatever. Roman Reigns has absorbed the old John Cena politics. CM Punk divides a crowd simply because he is CM Punk.
Yeah.
There was going to be all kinds of reactions all over the spectrum for this being the main event.
Oh, absolutely.
In that regard, I have to tip my hat to WWE for coming right off of the Royal Rumble, peeling off the Band-Aid right away and saying, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to drop it. You know, no warming up in the bullpen. Here's your main event. Let the reactions be what they are. Let's get over it and let's move forward. I think it's kind of a ballsy move, but it's also the longer they dragged it out, for me personally, if I want to be selfish about it, the longer they dragged it out, the longer I would think I was still getting that Punk Cody match.
Yeah.
And the fact is they've teased it the night before the Royal Rumble every year for the past 3 years.
I know.
So now that the Royal Rumble is passed and we're heading to Chamber, we're probably getting Punk versus Finn, which I'll talk about in a second. Just rip the Band-Aid off. Give the people that are going to love it, like me, the full like 3 months to look forward to it. Give the people that are going to performatively hate it a chance to get it out of their system. Let's be real about that as well. Rip the Band-Aid off. This is it. They're going to drag out Liv Morgan's answer, I think. So if they're going to drag her answer out, even though it's obvious.
Yeah.
Let's be real. I like Jade and I like Liv. I have no interest in a Jade Liv match.
Yeah.
Maybe they could do something. Maybe they could surprise me. But holy fuck. How over is Stephanie Vacour, even with her new music? How over is Liv? Liv Morgan is the most obvious person in the building.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bianca Belair, for staying injured so that we could have
No
a winner
kidding,
that I wanted.
But my big thing is, like, why did they not have Raquel take the title? I'm still like, the whole story hinged upon that, I thought, with Judgment Day and everything. Like, it's just, we'll see what they
No, it's
do,
gonna
but
it's gonna come from the fact that I'm sorry, of the 3 women in the Judgment Day, Raquel is the least over. She's over. Like,
yeah.
people like her. I've had the conversation with you over the past couple of weeks of she's wickedly gotten better.
Yes,
Her
she's
personal
improved.
story is great. Her character work is great. Why don't I care? Partially, it's okay, going way back to the Ava thing that I said a while ago, you don't put her right next to 2 people that are way more charismatic than her and expect her to be the one that gets over. So she
Yeah.
can be bitter, she can do whatever, she can try to fuck Liv Morgan up on the way to WrestleMania, or maybe she costs her at WrestleMania, but the centerpiece of the story is gonna be Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is over as fuck. I'm sorry to say it, people still go back to, "Oh, well, they just gave her a fluke win over Ronda Rousey." Yeah, that was in 2019.
Yeah. That was
Like, if you
forever
can't
ago.
see, like, she's just under Rhea Ripley and maybe Stephanie Vacour as, like, some of the most over women in that company.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, her and Stephanie Vacour, and people love Stephanie Vacour because Stephanie Vacour, not that she's a copycat of her, but for the type of, like, badass, a little bit on the dark side character that she is, she's following in the footsteps of a Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Like, she's on that level. I would've, if it wasn't Liv and people would have bitched because she's already won a Rumble before, whatever, I don't care. I would have loved to see Stephanie Vacour versus Rhea Ripley. That's something they've teased on the back burner as well.
Yeah. Oh,
But
absolutely.
my point being, Liv Morgan teasing us and 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 eventually revealing that it's gonna be her and Stephanie Vacour is fine. Teasing out the Roman Reigns choosing CM Punk
Yeah.
is different. Now,
I
the
get why
next
they
thing,
just announced it, because that is a huge match. It's a marquee matchup. Like, immediately go for it. But
it and I don't wanna do the business side of it because it sounds cheesy as fuck, but it does get the ball rolling on the ticket sales, which they were conceivably very worried about. Apparently, The Rock and Austin are gonna be there. Taker's gonna come out and do some, throat slashing and such and such. But, like, let's not pretend that Roman Reigns and CM Punk is not a box office match as well. So they did that. They made a big match. They made a match with a hell of a lot more story, talking about the formation of the Shield, talking about the friggin' Colt Cabana podcast, um, all those types of things. Here's
yeah.
the other thing. Here is the other thing that they've done as well. Take out the fact that it's Roman Reigns, take out the fact that it's CM Punk. They did the one other thing that I've been saying that they need to do for ages now because it's the Seth belt. Somebody from the Rumble has to choose that belt.
Yeah.
And yes, Roman Reigns didn't pick the belt. He picked the champion, and the champion happens to be holding that belt, but I'll take it.
Yeah. No kidding.
I'll take it. See, WWE title, world title. People see the WWE title as being the big one, and this is as being the small one. Well, here's the guy that held the real one for, like, what was it, 1,316 days or whatever. It was like 1,000 plus 316 days. He's held that for that long, like almost 4 years, and now he's chosen this one. Even if you're looking at it completely through a kayfabe lens,
Yeah.
that means something.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
who Roman Reigns is making that choice means something. And it's something that they should have done, probably something that they should have done when they first did the title. Because here's the part that people forget. Yes, you've got 2 chances to main event WrestleMania. You can win the Rumble, you can win the Chamber. But
Yeah.
let's not pretend that winning the Chamber isn't the silver medal.
Yeah. No kidding.
And the silver medal can't always be the World Heavyweight Championship.
No. And
The women's world title doesn't have that problem. The whole, like, "Oh, it's the Seth belt," came more from the fact that people didn't like Seth. But here's
Well,
the
it also
thing.
came off the fact that because Roman didn't, you know, he wasn't forced to be stripped of either belt. So then they united those belts and then just made a totally new belt when they already had to.
Yeah,
Like, they just made a problem by making a new belt when they just had to take one of them and give it to the other guy.
and slide it over, yeah. But yeah,
No
but if
one
he
would
was
have
the WWE,
complained.
but here's the thing, though. is if he was still the WWE champion, the title that they brought back over to Raw would have been the Universal title that got treated pretty much the same way by most fans.
Yeah.
So you can't win for losing in that regard. So it's kind of unfortunate, but you can't really win for losing in that regard. So they've actually chosen a big name to win the Rumble. Like if Jay had won it last year. Well, Jay did win it and he did choose it. What the fuck am I talking about?
Yes. I was just going to correct you, but I was just going to let you go.
Jake, what the fuck am I talking about? Okay,
but
this is
when
what
they
I'm
had
saying.
to do it with Jay, it didn't push it to the limit. It didn't ever make it feel.
It didn't main event.
Yeah, and it didn't feel
You
like the
needed
main event.
You needed it to be somebody like Roman Reigns, and you needed to be the decision that made the main event.
Actually, I beg to differ too, because I think they could have made it bigger. But what did they do with Jay after he won? They made him decide to face Gunther. Then Gunther fucked off for all that time, and he went and fought Judgment Day, and then did that terrible, dive over the top, and everything just kind of followed him from there. But they didn't make him seem like this, plucky underdog or like a true badass. So,
you know what the other funny thing is too? Before he even started the promo with Roman, he walked right past Roman to the camera and addressed Finn Balor first.
yeah, and that's a problem to me. I give respect that they did it. I'm happy they did it. Because Finn's saying he's not getting respect, but that's why Roman should have waited, because it's like, oh, Punk versus Roman.
See, here's the thing though. That CM Punk coming all the way to the ring and addressing Finn first was the first shot. Because you stepped like Roman Reigns, for better and worse, all the aura and ambiance and all the cinema and all the words that we use to describe the Bloodline saga, right?
Yeah.
Roman Reigns owns the ring as soon as he's in it. He owns the ring as soon as he walks into the building. He's earned that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It takes somebody like CM Punk to come along and absolutely shatter that.
Yeah.
Like, we always use the Bray Wyatt John Cena comparison, right? Bray Wyatt had all the ambiance around him, the culty vibes and whatever. All it took was somebody like a John Cena, who you knew wouldn't take him seriously, to come down and laugh at him, and you would never take him seriously again as a character. It would kill the character. What CM Punk did is the good version of that. Roman Reigns came along, he got all the people involved with him, all the ones were up. Even when the Usos were out in the commercial break and they said, let's throw our ones up and congratulate Roman Reigns, all the fingers going in all the different directions when they panned out was an amazing visual. Now, they shouldn't have done it in a commercial break, but it is what it is. Roman Reigns came in. He's celebratory. He's throwing up the ones. He's telling people to acknowledge him. He has the crowd in the palm of his hands.
Yes.
Right? CM Punk comes in, walks right by him, grabs the camera, grabs the metaphorical attention of everybody, and says, the person I'm going to address first is not even the guy that's in this ring right now. That's the first shot at Roman Reigns. That's not a shot at Finn Balor. That's a shot at Roman Reigns. It totally deflates and walks over everything that Roman Reigns has spent the last 5 minutes establishing. I thought that was one of the most brilliant parts of the entire promo.
Yeah,
CM Punk addressing Finn Balor first is the first shot at Roman Reigns. That's why it works. And that's why we're going to talk about something else in a second.
Yes, but
these two being the main event does great things for more than just these two. Because you're going to get this rematch with Finn Balor and CM Punk. This weird, I'm breaking away from the Judgment Day and I feel like I've been wronged and I'm the righteous guy, but I'm just becoming a different kind of asshole thing that we're getting from Finn Balor. I can't put my finger on it, and it's another one of those, I can't put my finger on it, but it feels like it's going to be good. Finn Balor hasn't had a proper world title situation since the one day that he held the undisputed title, or the universal title, right?
Yeah.
So this is another thing as well. I've been waiting a long time for Finn Balor to be in the world title picture. I've been waiting for a long time for CM Punk to be in the main event of WrestleMania. I've waited a long time for somebody else to come along other than Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes and truly benefit from what Roman Reigns has created, because I think way too many people have pushed that off to the wayside, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If the one thing, let me just finish my thought. Sorry.
No.
If the one thing that we know isn't going to happen happens, if Finn beats Punk in Chicago, First of all, rocket up Finn's ass. Way too belated on that regard. 2, it's in Chicago. 3, now you've elevated Finn Balor to the main event of WrestleMania against Roman Reigns, the guy that he beat on the Raw before that Universal title match that got him in the match on the pay-per-view where he got injured in the first place. Full circle. So even the stuff that we know isn't happening is still epic. That's the ripple effect. That's the ripple effect of bringing. And I know you talked about it being repetitive, and I knew I was going to swing back to this eventually. I know you talked about it being repetitive because, we had the triple threat and there's been different iterations of this and that and this and that, right?
Yeah.
Here's the comparison I'll make for you. We love watching Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky, right?
Yeah.
Because they're amazing. They put on some of the best women's matches in the past couple of years. But what did they do? They threw Bianca in there at the last minute for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They had Naomi cash in the middle of Evolution. There was this, that, and the next thing. Kabuki Warriors got involved, whatever the case may be. So I don't care how many more versions we get of it. If we got to WrestleMania and there was a singles match between Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, and they somehow said, yeah, everybody else is barred from the ring, and you're actually going to get this match the way you wanted it, with no interference, with no bullshit third-party participant and whatever, you're finally going to get Io versus Rhea the way it's supposed to be, we'd all be on tenterhooks for it.
Yeah.
That is what I have with Roman and Punk. You say they've interacted so many times. They were in war games together. They were in tag matches together. They were on opposite sides of tag matches together. They were on the same side for tag matches together. And they were in the triple threat last year that was kind of a main event. In the first night, it was a triple threat match. There was Seth Rollins. There was Paul Heyman, whatever. Give me Roman Reigns versus CM Punk properly now, and I promise it will be a brand new match.
Yeah.
Now, sorry, you had something to say.
No. It's just, I hope. I really do. Because, damn, is this... to me, it's still upsetting. There's so many missed opportunities in my eyes. We don't have many years left. The Rumble, Roman didn't need the Rumble, the Chamber, any of it. He could have literally walked out there, said, I want to face Punk, and they could have just gave it to him, and no one would have argued. LA Knight needed the Rumble.
People would have argued.
They would have argued, but they would have done it. He's the top billed star in the company. He's the, they would have found a reason and a way.
They could have done it, and just because it's him, but that's what's entirely right and entirely wrong with it. Like, he shouldn't be getting it just because
he shouldn't,
him,
but he pisses off Punk, and Punk says, well, I'm challenging you. Story solved. It could be that simple. And the thing is here, though, it's like Roman keeps getting, like, he falls upwards always. It's like he didn't have the best matches. It was relying on the Bloodline's interference. His matches were 40-minute slogs. They were. A lot of them were just not great. They were great for the people that were in them. And but it was always like, all the family involvement, all the bloodline. And that was the purpose of that as well. But Roman didn't win on his own. Cinema, right? That's where that. And that's where it all came from with the bloodline. So now when we look back, it's like, yeah, they were good. But how much of it was also, it was the only option at the time post, the world shutting down and everything since. So, I mean, this is why Cody's pitching house shows, because he's like, I suggested at Top Brass, we have house shows, camaraderie, the reps, the sense of working. It's something you need to think where if, you're only there a couple days a month, you're not getting the full experience and you're not getting the reps in that you need. And that's the thing. Like when all is said and done with Mania, Roman won't be here. We know that he probably won't be back till summertime or SummerSlam. Punk will still be here.
That's true.
And LA Knight and all these people. And I know they're going to sell it off of Roman's name, but Roman feels like more of a returning Stone Cold than an active roster member. To me.
Other than Cody, because we know I want that match. I'm still fighting for that match. Other than Cody, who do you put Punk in the main event of WrestleMania with that does something for Punk?
It does something for Punk?
Yes. Here's the thing as well. Spoiler alert for a preview that we're going to do in about 3 months. Punk has to win this match.
I think he needs to, but I don't think he will. That's my worry. That's
Hmm.
I have a very
Okay,
hard time believing he has a shot.
going on the assumption that he's winning, what other opponent other than Cody? As I'm saying, Cody is the asterisk beside all of this,
Yeah.
right? Other than Roman or Cody, what opponent gives Punk the rub of a win like Roman or Cody? And what other opponent does WWE put CM Punk in the main event with the perceived secondary belt?
Yeah. I feel like Punk is ahead of Drew, so they always probably would have had night 2 reserved for him. And honestly,
But I don't think,
the problem
yeah.
is losing the Rumble hurts a lot. You could do it with the Chamber still, yes, but let's say Roman didn't win the Rumble, you've got options. I think people could have really gotten behind LA Knight and Punk. I think that would have done something for Punk too. I genuinely the promos, the
Oh,
back and forth
it would have done something. The promos would have been great and whatever. But I'm saying when WrestleMania is
is
over,
over. Yeah, I think
okay,
that Punk
when
could put on such a match that he iterates like I still deserve this spot. I didn't just earn it. I
oh,
solidified that
no,
I'm
no,
in the
oh, no, okay, no. I'm not questioning that.
yeah.
But you got to get something from a win,
Oh,
right?
that's what I'm saying
If
though. He can put on
if you
such a match that it'll be, and he needs
but here,
someone with the work rate.
right. Here's the thing. There's no way, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe somebody will correct me down in the box below. You're not going to convince me that CM Punk going into a WrestleMania that he knows he's winning is going to get more from beating LA Knight than beating Roman Reigns.
Oh, yeah, certainly not in that regard. I mean,
Okay,
you'll get
that
more
was where I
from
was going.
Roman. I get that, but I think they could have built it. I think
The only one comparable would be Cody.
not
There's now
entirely. There's see, they could have
there's a
taken
different
steps to
level.
build someone, and it would have worked. But they've taken too many steps. They already had him face Braun Breaker, with the Rumbles past. So now any other
Punk Breaker was for
attempt
Breaker.
is like tertiary. It
This is the
was.
thing. This is the thing. And okay, this is me. I love Finn Balor. I think his push is way overdue. But win or lose, the Punk Balor mini feud is for Balor. He's the one that's benefiting from that.
They've had the demon be beat by Roman, but that was beat by God. But if they let Balor come
No. But
back,
I'm just saying like the value of the
yes,
program.
but they could.
Like
I think they could have gotten value out of his name if they had Punk go ahead and had from now until Mania, Balor goes on a fucking tear, comes back eventually as the demon, just rips everybody to shreds. He probably really could have
I
sold
don't
it.
think Balor could do it. I would love Balor to be in a position where he could do it.
Yeah,
But if you start it now
it
and
doesn't
it
work.
goes from here to April, okay, we've had a quick speed run of 4 months.
Yeah,
You can't replicate the name value that Roman Reigns has built. I would say, okay, don't include his whole career. Just include what he did post COVID.
yeah, the heel
You
turn.
can't replicate. You can't. No, but you can't. You can't replicate 5 years of like being the guy in the center of the story
No,
for
but they
that
didn't
long.
give anybody else a shot to be the guy
No, they
either.
didn't.
That's
No,
the
they
point
didn't.
here. So
No, they didn't. But
they
but
never
that's why Roman's the guy.
yeah, they let Brock waltz back in, they'll let Roman come back in, and they get to
Hmm?
pick up the spots and everybody that's there
Okay,
for
well,
the rest of the year.
nobody puts any bank in Brock anymore for other
But for
outside
years,
political
that's how
reasons.
it was. So
Oh,
now
of
it
course,
just
yeah, yeah.
transferred from him to Roman. Like that's
Okay,
you
but
wouldn't see him.
Roman has made a lot more meaningful impact over the past. I
Oh
would say, like
yeah,
I say, I'm limiting myself to just the past 5 years and what they achieved, sort of post COVID, entering the Triple H era. Now you could say it was handed to him or whatever, but he was still the guy that did it.
yes.
He
And
was
Cody did more to
he
make
was.
himself a star leaving the company
Oh,
and coming back
of
than he
course,
did
yeah.
in the company. He came back in a bigger star, and that's what made him the big star.
This is
They're
why
not
I'm
making any
saying
new stars. That's the
this is why I'm saying the asterisk for all of this is Cody, because you can do a history thing with Cody as well. It would
yeah.
just be an entirely different historical conversation. That is not the same as Finn. As much as I love that he's getting a push right now, you cannot replicate that in speed running a push in 4 months. There's nobody if you look at all the players on the table as they exist right now, there is nobody that Punk beating means more than Roman Reigns, with the possible exception of Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
That's just me not digging anybody else, because there's a lot of people that shoulda, woulda, could have definitely been in those positions. I'm saying right now, booking towards this year's WrestleMania in Vegas in like 3 months, there is no bigger scalp than Roman Reigns for them to give to CM Punk, except possibly Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, exactly.
And the last thing about it that I'm going to say that was entirely fun, and oh my God, I haven't reacted this like wide-eyed in a fun way since the New Day buried Big E. Holy fuck, they both buried Drew McIntyre.
Oh, I made mention of this. I was like, they just chewed him up and spit him the fuck out. If you want to take on the easy champion, choose Drew. I beat him in Hell in a Cell. I beat him 50 times. Like the two of them are like,
Do we want to just stand here and talk about how many times we've beaten Drew?
yes, like, oh. If I was Drew, when SmackDown starts, I am
Oh, he has to tear the place
eviscerating.
apart.
Yeah.
Here's the
Eviscerating these
thing.
two. Like,
Here's the
there's
thing.
no way
If
around
Roman
it.
is going after Punk's belt, Roman's appearances are going to be on Raw, because Roman, if you look online, is listed as a free agent. Right? So he's going to be on Raw because he's building a story on Raw, right?
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre going out there and popping his nut on SmackDown isn't going to do anything. He's not even going to be worried about who his challengers are, because he's got two crawling up his ass with Cody and Jacob there. Want to talk about things that are getting a bit repetitive. He's going to be so focused on the match that he's not in that he's going to lose the match that he's in.
Yeah.
Here's my prediction. Punk beats Roman. Drew McIntyre doesn't leave WrestleMania with the title. I don't know who's taking it, but it's not going to be Drew. And it's only awesome because his character is the best when he's getting fucked with.
Yes.
Because he's the angriest, like, justified babyface version of a heel there is.
Yes.
If it was anybody else, I'd be like, holy fuck, guy.
Yeah, like
What
you've
are we doing?
gone too far. But no, not with Drew. And Drew getting fucked
I
out
did
of
like
it. The
the
triple
line-
threat thing makes it work again. Board at work for the third year in the row.
I did like, sorry, I'm backtracking a little bit here. I did like the line in the promo when they were talking, even when Punk was giving Roman his credit, he still cut him down when he's like, yeah, I watched you. Yeah, you succeeded a lot with your family, whatever. Yeah, you held the WWE title for 1,316 days, but nobody told you just because you do it longer doesn't mean you did it better.
Exactly. And
anyways, I am ridiculously excited for this, even though it is.
I'm still
100%
excited
not what I
for
wanted.
it. It's not what I wanted either. And that's not, again, not why I'm upset. People, oh, you didn't get what you want. No, it's just,
Yep.
It's I'm accepting it. It's not the worst decision that's ever been made. It's not
Nope.
Brock and Roman again. Like, it's not Cody and Roman 3. Like, I get that. At least Tim and Punk haven't had the singles match. There is a story there. It's just doing this takes away such a chance for so many other people. Like, Roman doesn't need this. He was in the main event multiple times for the last, of the decade, most of them.
Roman doesn't need it. That's why I say you have to look at a match. No matter who wins, no matter who loses, you have to see who the match is for.
Yeah.
This match isn't for Roman. This match is for Punk.
I hope.
Roman,
I hope.
I hope too, yeah. And if I'm wrong, I'm taking all of this back. But, like, if he goes in there and loses, then it's not for Roman. Roman's there for Punk.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It's not like when Punk said, oh, The Undertaker's going to go to WrestleMania and beat me, and then he's going to be gone. If it ends up being that, then it's an entirely different story altogether. One thing I did forget to mention, because we mentioned Brock before, we were saying for the longest time that WrestleMania is going to be Gunther Brock.
Yeah.
When all the rumors seem to say they're pushing it later on down the line to SummerSlam because of the location and whatever.
In Minnesota.
I think we've got two far more interesting options coming out of that one match that we're not getting. It looks very clearly like we're getting Brock versus Oba, which I will watch the fuck out of.
I'm excited for that. It's not 100% lock as of this point, according to Meltzer and Fightful. They're saying,
but the other side of the coin,
yeah,
why is the rumor that I'm hearing why they've pulled Gunther away from Brock for WrestleMania is because he's going to retire somebody else at WrestleMania.
I've heard this as well.
Who are you talking about?
Randy Orton.
No.
Ooh.
Seeds were planted. Seeds were planted at the Royal Rumble. We just didn't know it, apparently.
Mm.
So Royal Rumble, Gunther retires AJ Styles.
Yes.
AJ
Third in
Styles
the
went after
series.
Gunther. AJ Styles went after Gunther after he retired Cena and then disrespected John Cena, right? And
Yes.
now AJ Styles is retired. He disrespects AJ Styles, and Dragon Lee comes out.
Yes.
Dragon Lee is now in a faction.
Oh.
We kill Dragon Lee.
Who
Unfortunately, we're
comes
going to
out to
squash.
fight in Dragon Lee's
We're gonna no,
honor.
we're gonna squash Penta in the middle, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
Do we get Gunther versus Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania?
I mentioned this at one point, and a lot of people felt like that's Dom's place to retire as dad. But I feel like they've fought
Maybe.
so many times. It's kind of a, I guess.
I've actually heard the idea of like a babyface thing for Dom. Not that he's gonna all of a sudden be a good guy, but like a good guy moment
Yes.
of like his dad gets retired. There's a post-match beatdown. Babyface for the night. Dom Mysterio comes down to fight off Gunther and save his
Well,
dad.
originally the plan, because remember, they were splitting up the Judgment Day at Night of Champions, and
Yeah.
Finn Balor was taking on Dominic at SummerSlam. Then Liv got injured, and they halted all the plans. But he and Liv were originally going face. So
on
they
the
were,
other side.
Dom was going to be like the Eddie Guerrero in China of Liv, you know, that kind of idea. They were going for that, where like he still lies, cheats, and steals, but just the audience is in on it now and enjoys it, like they don't already. But you get my point.
See, the thing is though, like I think you could have him have a baby, like the kind of character that he is, and he is that character where everybody's kind of in on the joke. I mean, for fuck's sake, look at how over he is in AAA.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Him versus Vikingo at Rey de Reyes is going to be hot.
Yeah, no doubt.
But
But I don't know
I
how much
think with a
time Ray has left. And the people that were talking about, I was reading the story and it was like suggesting Orton. I'm like, I don't think he'll retire yet, but soon. Soon he
There is a
certainly
story to
will.
tell there, though. Like he's doing this career killer thing. He's even got it on his Tron now.
Yes.
The poetic license of Gunther, the legend killer, is going to be there.
One's a legend killer, one's the career killer, and that's why I think people are buying into that, because they saw the next night the killer line come out and be like, oh, he's not the legend killer, he's the career killer.
It's pretty obvious when they just throw it up on the Tron in clip art.
Yes. Look at our font.
Anyways, lots and lots of stuff to talk about. Love when we disagree. It makes the podcast longer.
Absolutely.
Why don't you tell them what's going on with you, where they can find you, and all that fun stuff?
Yes, indeed. As we mentioned earlier, you can go ahead and join us on Thursdays for game night. That's a ton of fun. Play Jackbox and a series of other things on YouTube with the audience. Win some prizes, hang out. It's always fun. Jeremy just won the Rumble Pick'em contest and got himself $30 to Xbox the other day, so that was nice. Go ahead and check out everything that we have to offer, reviews, and so much more on youtube.com/Jake DeMarco. And you can follow me on Twitter at CountdownEnded for updates, show notes, and so much more.
Fantastic. And you guys know where to find me, or you wouldn't be here. I've been Spaz. He's been Jake. This has been The State of Wrestling. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, me and Super Sexy Jake taking it out. Bye, guys.